Okay, good morning everyone. So in the last tutorial, we have already finished the head part, but we still left some little detail for you guys to finish by yourself, including the adjustment about the shape of the head and also probably this kind of mustache. That's the things I hope you can done by yourself. And now for this time, we are going to finish the rest part. So let's start with the clothes first. Basically, once you finish the clothes, probably most of this model has been done, but except the most complicated part in this model, there's another complicated part, the hand part. Let's take a look about the clothes first. So, if I isolated the clothes, actually you might find out we don't have to do the model all by ourselves. Actually, for example, like the body of the zombie, if it was covered by the clothes, well, we don't need to do that, just like this. So actually, the inner part was empty. So the only things we need to do is the clothes part. And also for the clothes part, it's not like the things we think. Actually, for sure, all of you know the clothes have some thickness inside. But when we are working on 3D model, especially when we are working on this kind of animated model, we don't need to do the thickness. We just need to do a single surface for our clothes. And only on the edge part, let's take a look. For the edge right here, as far as you can see, in order to make this one more realistic, and also in order to make this one more not will it will when it moves, it will not go through the models, do not go intersected. So we will make some thickness on the border, but actually for most of the model, you only has a single surface. So actually compared to the head part, it's relatively easy. Let's try to do that, okay? Let's start with the skirt first. So I will copy one more so that it will be our reference. Remember, this practice is trying to help you guys to understand the basic modeling technique. So it's not like basic, actually it's intermediate level about modeling part, so that you must done by yourself. Otherwise, you didn't know how to do that, or you won't get anything from this tutorial. Okay, so let's start with this one, with the single close. So with this one, I think all of you can know that, well, let's just start with a cube. Just remember, in this model, we can always start with cube. So start with mesh cube, and then I will go to edit mode and Control B, Control R for cutting edge, and you can increase more. Usually I will using probably 4 by 5 or 4 by 6, just like this. And also on the side view as well. Control R and probably 4 or 5, up to. Alright, so now we have this one. And then go to the faces mode and let's choosing all the face. Make sure you are working under the wireframe mode so that you can select all the face. I will turn on the shortcut view R so that some of you can see my operation if you are not familiar with Blender. So let's select the face, delete the face, and now also we don't need this part, but I will delete them later. But I will delete the bottom face. So let's go to the face, delete them. Okay, now we have this one. And then let's go to modifier and choose mirror. So now let's move this one up. This one is very tiny actually, so let's choosing S and X to scale them down. Alright, and if you want, you can directly add on a subdivision modifier. So let's using Control 1 and to create a subdivision modifier. And now it's time for us to create the shape. And remember, we need to move this one back because this one is on the side and this one, well, this one is on the side, so we need to make sure it will fit our model, fit your head. So let's do that again. So you press S and Y, scale down in the Y directions. So now let's start to do the detail editing. Go to tab mode, and better for you to use in the scale key. And remember, if you just directly select all the face, and to scale, it will scale based on the individual original point. So we only select this part, go to the side view, and press S for scaling down. Yes, for scaling down. Move them here. And let's do it again. Go to the side view, press S and Y for scaling down. Okay, and then let's choose all of them. Okay, and also for here, for the front view, you need to move them out. And for the side view, let's move them inside. S and Y for moving them inside. Okay, and also here, let's do the same thing. S and Y, scaling down. Make the shape looks like the bending spline. S and Y, scaling down. Move them forward. Okay, and also change the shape right here. Okay, just like this. And so now we have this one, the basic shape. Probably it still looks a little bit weird because it basically this still looks like a chunk. So let's go to edit mode and isolate these two objects. Go to the top view, and we need to make this one more like a shape, a round geometry. So let's go to the wireframe mode and go to the edit mode and start to do the sculpting. Make this one more like a round geometry. Probably it could be thinner. So let's press S and Y, make this one thinner. Okay, let's take a look. Well, more or less, but probably this part have to be rotate a little bit. RX, rotate a little bit. Let's take a look. Okay, it's fairly okay. So for now, next part, let's try to do the detail. So first things about the arm. So basically, because we don't need to do the arm right here, it will be covered by the jacket. So let's choose in the face, the location of the arm. So basically, it will be around here. So let's choose the face right here, probably around 4 segments, and press E and S for extrusions. Go to the side view, and it's better to be a round shape. So let's choose in S and Y for scaling up. And then once you finish, just delete the face. Okay. And then we need to do some adjustment about the geometry. So let's do that manually. For here, there's nothing special, and also I don't want to I don't want to put too many faces right here. So let's just do that manually. Okay, just like this. And if you think it's not perfect, let's just keep working on this one. Alright, more or less, basically just like this. And now let's take a look about here. About the neckwear, the things right here. As far as you can see, here actually it was a double face geometries, but it's not always double face geometries. Only this part, okay, the one which I showed to you right here. this part. And also another double face is right here. Okay, so that's the things we need to do. Let's take a look. First things, we need to choose the right position. So let's call out the rest part. And the neck is right here. So basically it's around here. Let's try to do that. Actually, we can adjust later. Adjust the shape of the neck later. So that's okay. Let's choose in the face on the top. Okay, and then delete. Delete face. Go to the top view and change the geometries. Alright, so basically it's pretty much done. And now let's turn on this, isolate these two and start to do the model. First things, the things we need to do is to select the edge right here. Okay, go to the side view and choose extrusions. Press E and Z for extrusions. And for sure, we need to scale down a little bit, but there is a problem again, because once you do the scale, it will scale the all based on the individual origins. So it's not scale all fan, it will scale based on the individual origins. So rather than using scale, I will using manually control. Just move them inside. Okay. And then go to the side view, change the geometries. Okay, just like this. And then again, go to the edge selection mode. Press E and Z for extrusions. Okay. So basically, I think we need at least 3 segments, easy for 3 times, and then it's time for see the magic. So time to do the neckwear. So how can we do that? Press easy again, and then easy again, and press S key for scaling up, and move them down. Okay, very easy. So just scale up again. And for now, let's go to the front view. The geometry looks fairly okay, but it looks weird in the middle. So we need to go to the solid mode and choosing the vertex, change the geometry right here. Okay, and also in the middle, I think we need more segments, so it will look more natured. Also for here. So now we can change the geometries. Go to the wireframe mode, and you can choose in the vertex right here. Let's go to here, choose. And also here we need to change that. Because this part we need to use in the snap tool to help us to snap to the center. Okay. Just like this. So now let's start to adjust the shape of the neckwear. And we need to move them out. Just like this. And also here, we can move them down. Let's take a look about our reference. So basically it's a V-shaped neckwear. So let's move this part down. I think this part as well, we need to move them down. Go to the front view, right here, move them to the side. Okay, just like this. But for this part, we need to make this part more like a three-dimensional shape. So let's go to the side view, move this one forward, go to the side view, move this one up. Okay, just like this. Alright, so next part we need to do, for now it's a single surface geometries. So for the next part, the things we are going to do is to create thickness for this one, right? So let's take a look. So how do you create a thickness for this one? Very easy. Let's just choose in the face right here. Choosing the face right here. But it's better for you to make sure, okay, I have already finished the geometries. Otherwise, if you haven't finished the geometry, and you still need to try to shape it, or you still need to deform it, when you create a thickness, it will cause some problem. So let's take a look of the final one. Okay, so probably this one is a little bit too small. So maybe let's enlarge a little bit, just based on our reference. And also for the V shape, you need to be more sharp. Okay, just like this. And let's turn on our head. Well, it looks fine, but probably still a little bit too small, so I will enlarge again. Okay, just like this. But also for here, we need to go to the top view and change the size, otherwise it will intersect it. Actually, this part, if it was intersected, it doesn't matter that much because it was inside. So even if it was intersected, no one will see that. Okay, I think it's pretty much done. And the things right here, let's choose in the edge and move them up, just like this. Okay, so now let's start to do the thickness about the neckwear. So let's choose the face. There are two different ways to do that. So the first way is that we can just directly extrude the face. Or another way is that we can try to using the just choosing a boulder and do the extrusions. So both of them can work, but it has some different restrictions. Let's take a look. Let's choosing a face first. If I just directly using extrusions, like extrude face along normals, well, it will extrude. Yeah, that's correct. But let's take a look. Actually, it was still empty. It just increased one more layer faces on the original geometries. So that's not the things I want, because the things I want to have is that make this one looks like thick, has some solid and thickness on the neckwear. So if I want to do that, I will choose in the face, the edge right here. For this part, yeah, I think for this part we don't need to do that. And now let's use an extrude edge. So extrude land inside rather than just extrude face. And then extrude again. And make them have some thickness. Okay? But for sure you still need to do some adjustment because this for now it looks too weird. It was too thick. So we need to do some adjustment. Press S key for scale them down. And also we can go to the front view and you can choose an edge right here. And we can choose right click and choose in mark sharp. So for now, if you choose in mark sharp, we can go to the right side. And you can change the mean increase so that it will be more sharp compared to the original geometries. And for this one as well, because for now it was too, let's say it was too sharp, too thick. So I want to mark sharp first and then increase the mean increase number. Okay, so now at least we have some thickness on the border and we can change a little bit about the geometries. If you want, actually, we can try to, let's say, we can try to separate the neckwear. And once we finish the neckwear, then let's go back to combine. Let's go back and combine them together. But I think it's not necessary unless you want your models to be super precise. So anyway, let's try to finish this part first. So some part right here probably is not perfectly. So as far as I can see, this part was intersected. So let's move them out. Go to wireframe mode and take a look about the geometries. Make sure it was correctly. As far as I can see right now, actually it was too thick. So I want to make this one thinner, otherwise when it was moving, well, it will look weird. And also here as well. Let's move them inside. And for this part, you can mark the sharp as well. So let's choose them. And this part as well. Mark sharp. And increase the number. Let's clear first. Clear sharp. Go to 0. Let's do it again. Mark sharp. And increase the number. Okay. Alright. So I think this part is also too, let's say, it's too thick. So I want to decrease the number. So let's move them out, make them more thinner. Just like this. And for this one as well, let's choose an edge right here. And we don't need to move this part, so let's decrease. Deselection, this area, move them out, move them up. Okay, so let's go to the front view and let's take a look about the final result. This part, okay, this part is not correct because it looks like distorted. So let's change a little bit. For the inner part, actually, I think it doesn't matter that much, but we still hope this part could be more clean and more elegant. So if you want, we can actually try to merge them together so it will be more easier for you to control. Okay, go to the front view. I think this part we can try to add on one more card. So let's create the age right here. Alright, so this one pretty much finished. Let's call all the other ones. So last part is the bottom part. We need to create a thickness as well right here. Just like using the old trick to create a thickness right here. And it's up to you. You can create a thickness right here as well, but I think it's not necessary because this part will be covered by the jacket. So that's okay. But we can go to the animal, choosing the age right here, and move them inside. Or sorry, let's read again. Move them inside. Or you can extrude one more time. E and X for extrusions one more time and scale them down. Just a little bit. It doesn't have to be too much. So then also choose here, choose the age right here, move them out. Okay. So now let's choosing the button age and press E and S for extrusions and E for Z for extrusion again. And you can extrude twice, so EZ for extrusion. Alright, so now it's pretty much finished. So first things I want to do is to adjust the shape of the neck. So in order to make this one fit our model. So let's go to edit mode, choosing the border, probably, remember, right now we are still using the mirror modifier. So I will using the wireframe mode, choosing the vertex right here, move them down. Okay, let's take a look. Fairly okay, but this part doesn't look right, so let's go to the side view, move them inside. Okay, and probably also here we need to change a little bit. Just like this. Okay, pretty much finished. But this part I want to move them down, so let's choose in here. And probably let's turn on the proportional editing. Move them down. For this one as well, move them down. Okay, so before we finish this model, sorry for that. I think for the back side, I think we can move them up. Just like this. Okay, finished. So now let's start apply the mirror modifier. Don't forget to save your file, choosing apply. And now, if you remember, because we working on the mirror modifier, so in the middle part, it won't be connected. So let's do that manually, just using merge as center. Mesh, merge, and center. Okay, for this part as well, do the same trick. Let's merge them together. Or you can use in the hotkey, M key at center. Okay, and for the upper part, we need to do the same things. Go to the solid mode. This part looks fine, but okay, just a little bit weird. Here, press M key, merge at center, and for these two as well, M key, merge at center. But the things we need to fix is not about the neckwear, it's about the head. So let's go to the side view, go to the edit mode, and shrink and small down the size of the neck. Make sure they were inside, not outside. Alright, so now let's take a look. under the solid mode. Looks fine. Nothing goes through the model. Okay, so pretty much done. So for the next part, the things we are going to do is about the jacket. Let's do the final adjustment first. So let's go to the edit mode. I think I'd like to change a little bit just based on our reference image. Change right here. And probably you may wonder why I didn't talk about geometry typology right here. Because this part in this body, it already has enough face, enough edge for you to bend it. So if you want to create more, yeah, for sure you can do that, but actually we don't need that much. This one, well, it will bend just based on the rib part and the spline, the shape of the spline. Well, this part will bend, but we don't. But with so many segments, I think it's quite enough for us to do a movement. Okay. If you want, you can create one more edge segment right here, but that's the only things I think we need to do. And for the rest, I will just leave the model like this. Okay, so this is about the jacket part. And for the rest, let's start to do the jacket. Okay, so now once we finish the inner skirt, let's start to do the jacket. So how can we do that? Just like same old trick that we can just you can just copy this one and let's delete the useless part and then extrude the rest of the part and do the same and finish the jacket. So let's try to do that. Okay, let's shift the D, copy this one, and you can enlarge a little bit. Okay, just enlarge a little bit. And for the face, for the upper part, we don't need them. So let's go to the face mode, choosing the neckwear. Let's just delete them. Delete the face, delete the face. You can just select all of them. Delete the face. Okay, delete the face. And for the rest part, well, that's the same. Select all of them, press L key to delete all of them. Alright, and now I want to isolate this one. Let's choose all the face in the upper part, go to the wireframe mode, choose all of them, delete. And for this part as well, I want to clean up the model before we start. Delete, face. Okay, so now let's go to the front view. And also we don't need this part. Actually, right now I want to use in the mirror modifier. So let's delete the left side faces and apply one mirror modifier. Let's go to modifier and choose in mirror. And remember, you need to adjust the sequence. Mirror first and subdivision later. Let's choose in the face right here. Let's go to edit mode, choosing the face right here. Delete face. Okay. So now let's call out everything. So this one is bigger than the jacket, right? So this one is bigger than the jacket itself. And also we need to make this one cover our skirt. To make this one like our jacket. That's the things we are going to do. So what's the next part? The next part I'm going to split this area. So which means open up this side and then extrude the arm and create the detail. So that's the target we're going to do. Alright, so let's start to do that. Okay, so first things, in order to make this one open up, so let's just choose the face in the middle and make them cover the shirt. So let's go to edit mode, choose the face in the middle, and choosing delete face. And also don't forget this part we need to delete them as well. Delete face. Okay. And for this part of thickness, we can do that later. So if you don't, we can just directly delete them for now. Delete face, press L key, and delete face. Okay, it will be easier for us to control. Go to the front view. So the skirt is supposed to be longer than the shirt itself. So first things, let's go to the vertex selection mode and move them down. Make them longer compared to the skirt, the shirt, sorry. Make one longer. Because the geometry basically they fit with each other, so when you are going to do animation, well, it won't get any wrong. So here for the neckwear, about the jacket, we need to do some change. First things, we need to enlarge this part. Select mode, and we need to hide this part and go to the vertex selection mode. This part we also need to enlarge because the things we are going to do is to do a very complete neckwear right here. So we need to change the shape to leave enough space for us to do the details. And for here as well. Okay, so let's extrude this part first. Finish the arm. And remember, for the arm part, actually is very easy. Why we say that? Because for the arm part, the only things we need to take care is about the typologies. So let's choose in extrude E and X for extrusion. Let's extrude to the to enough length. Okay, I will move this one to the side so that it will not block our visions. Okay, extrude to the side, and then let's use in Control R. Remember, in the middle part, because this part is our, let's say, this is our joint, so we need to have more segment, and we can press S and X to increase and to make them more close to the center. So this is the center part of our geometry, and also right here we need more segment because this is another joint, and we can press S key to enlarge them. This part as well. And for this part, we can enlarge a little bit. For now, we are not going to do this part because I will do that later. And for now, I will just leave that like this. And also, we can go to the top view to make sure it was in the right geometries. Probably this part could be bigger. So press S and X key, S and Y key to enlarge them a little bit. And for this one as well. Go to the side view. Make sure it was in the right geometries, right proportions. Okay, it looks fairly okay. We can make this one bend a little bit because this one, we call this one T shape. So usually the most common shape we will see is the first one is T shape, just like this. Another one is A shape. And why we're choosing this one is because when we are going to rig and when we are going to do the automatically weight pants, well, we need to use the T shape or A shape so that it will not getting wrong on the weight of the surface. Okay, so let's finish this part and pull out the shirt inside. Now we need to take a look, and in order to make you guys see more clear, I want to choose a random color so that we can see what's what's happening inside. Let's go to edit mode and let's choose in the inner vertex right here. Do I select anything? Oh, yeah, right here. Move them out and try to make your geometry fit with your neckwear, the neckwear of the shirt. Also the geometry right here, and solid mode, move them out. And just like what we said before, because for now, once we change the geometry, this part becomes a triangular geometry. It will look a little bit weird, but if you want to make this one perfectly with a continuous edge, well, we can do that as well. This part still has a vertex right here, so it's still a code mesh, but for this part, it will move very weird. So I will delete this vertex, dissolve vertex, so make this one become a triangle, and it's acceptable for now. Okay, so now once we finish the basic geometry about this part, let's take a look about the reference. So now we are going to do the shape like this. So how can we do that? Let's choose in the edge on the border. So let's choose here, 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 and also here. Just using the old trick, extrude them and to get the right geometries. So let's choose in E for extrusions. And if you want, I think it could be longer, so I would choose to here and press right click or just press E for extrusions. And I will press S for scaling up. Sorry, I missed one edge. Let's do it again. Let's press E and press S for scaling up. Okay, and now press E and S for scaling up again. And now it's time to fold your necktie. Press S and move them down. Okay, so now the shape looks weird because everything was distorted and it's not going to follow the geometry we want. But for the rest of the part, it's about manually work. So let's go to the vertex selection mode and move them to the right geometries. Probably this part is a little bit too, well, I would say probably too short. But, well, anyway, since we're already down, just leave them like that. And for the center part, remember, turn on your snap tools and move them to the center. Go to the back view or top view. Slowly move them back to the center. Back to the center. Okay, something like that. Alright, so now it's time to shape the geometries. So move them down. If you want, you can turn on your proportion editing. Now I don't need the snap tool, so I will just turn off them. Select the edge right here and move them up, so it will look more like the neckwear. Okay, so basically it looks fine, but this part is totally wrong. So when they move them inside, go to the side view. Okay, just like this. And if you think there is not enough segments on the border, we can select them, hold on your Shift and Auto key, and Control B for bevel, create one more segment. Okay, so it will look more nature's. Okay, so basically the last part we need to do is this area. So how can we do that? Very easy. Just using your knife tool to cut off them, and it will be done. So let's choosing this one, the knife tool, and this time we don't need to snap to the vertex. If you want, you still can do that. You still can turn on this one and go to vertex and choose the knife tool to snap to the boulder. But I think for this time we don't need to do that, so I will just choose it like this. Okay, and the geometry looks weird, but let's go to the face selection mode, choosing the face right here, and choosing delete face. Delete face, sorry. Okay, and now we have this one, and we can increase the, go to the edge mode, select the edge, and sorry, let's take a look about the geometry. Okay, so here we have two vertex. Let's merge them first. Okay, and then choosing the edge right here, and arc sharp, and increase the crease value. Alright, and also simply here we do the same things. Mean vertex, let's increase the number right here. It's not a very good way, because when you are going to do the UV map, sometimes you will get it wrong. But anyway, I will using this one for now. It's easier for me. So let's move them up. Move this one down. Don't go through your model. Okay, just like this. Alright, so basically I think this one, the neckwear of our jacket is pretty much done. So the last things I want to do, first thing for sure is about adjust the geometries. Second thing is to create a thickness, just like what we did before. So the first part I need to create a thickness is right here. So let's take a look. The thickness right here is a little bit complicated. So first things, let's go to the front view. I want to create one more cut right here. And let's choosing the edge right here. Also here, let's move them to this side. And let's choose the face. Go to the wireframe mode, select all of them. And press right click and extrude face along normals. Alright, so that's the first one. And you can move them forward. And for this one as well, choosing the edge right here. And move them forward. Wireframe mode, choose the vertex. Probably scale them down a little bit. Alright. So now next part, the things, if take a look about the wireframe mode. We need to create an interface about the right here on the border of your jacket. So let's go to the front view. Go to the solid mode. So right here, although we already extrude one more face, but here actually it was still empty. It was still only a single face. So let's choosing the edge border right here, scaling down, and press E and X for extrusions, and E and X for extrusion again, and you can press S key for scaling down. So now when we are going to put your hand model right here, it will not go through and going out. So it will keep a perfect shape right here. Okay, so that's the things we are going to do. And this part still looks not very natural, so we can try to increase more segment right here. So it's up to you. You can try to increase more or maybe just keep like that. Choosing the face right here, move them forward. And also I think we need to create around 2 more segments right here. Okay, just like this. For geometry, I will leave that part for you or for you to adjust. So let's finish the rest of the part. So first thing, let's take a look about your jacket. So for sure, we need to do the thickness about the border. So let's take a look. Isolate this one. First things, we need to do the border right here. So for this part, it's a little bit complicated. We need to choose the face right here. And press E for extrusion and S for scaling down. Okay? Sorry. When you do the misselections, we don't need to select this part. Alright, just selection the middle, the center part, the neck wear. Press E and S for extrusions. Let's do it again. Go to wireframe mode. Make sure you select the right part. Alright, so once you finish the selections, press E and S for extrusions. And E and S again. And press S key to scale them down. And we can move a little bit, make them go inside, up. Okay, just like this. Go to the wireframe mode to make sure it was in the right proportion and right direction. This part is weird, so we need to fix that. Let's select them and turn on your snapping tools and put them back to the center. Okay, perfect. So now we have created a thickness for the neckwear, but it's not perfectly. As far as I can see, some part was still intersected, and also I think we need to do this part was intersected. Also, I think we need to do the sharp edge for your clothes. But let's keep like this, and I want to finish the rest of the part. So first things, as far as you remember, we also need to do thickness on the border right here. So let's choose in the edge right here. Okay, and press S key for scaling down, and press E and S key for extrusions, and E and S key for extrusion twice. So now we have the thickness, and then that's about the manual operations. So first things, let's try to fix the intersection part right here. Let's choose the face right here. Okay, let's fix this part. And if you think it's too thick, we can change a little bit. We can change the thickness. Just move the inner part out more outside. Okay, just like this. And for this part as well, let's just choosing the edge right here. For this part, do the same things, same trick. delete the vertex. Sorry, dissolve the vertex. For this part, we need to fix that. Let's take a look. Go to the inlet part. Alright, so for now we have 3 segments. Because the sharp edge right here, so it looks weird. Let's decrease the sharp edge, make them become 0, and clear sharp. And for this part, let's do the same thing. And clear sharp. Let's turn off this one first. Okay, that's crazy. I think for this part, maybe we just accidentally do multiple extrusions. So first thing is I'd like to select all of them, press A and press M key and merge by distance. Alright, so once you finish this one, it seems doesn't have any change, so probably it's not that because the multiple extrusions, so we need to change the typology to fix this area. Okay, so let's go to edit mode. Let's move them out first. Okay, so right here, this is the second layer. Let's delete one layer so that probably it will be more easier for us to see. Delete and dissolve edge. Okay, so now we have move them inside, go to the side view. Okay, so for now it looks okay, but a little bit weird because we only have one border. But that's okay. Let's go to the top view to change the geometry a little bit, or increase the level of the subdivisions so it will be more smooth compared to before. Also, let's decrease the number right here. Okay, just like that. So when you are going to use increase tool or mark sharp tools, well, you must remember it will change the UV wet of your model, and sometimes you will create very weird results. So, so when I was a Maya user, usually I will use that, but I think inside Blender probably it's not that good for you to do that. Inside Maya, when you're using that, well, basically there's no problem with that. But inside Blender, sometimes the problem will happen. Okay, so for now, anyway, I think the jacket part it has pretty much down. And if you want, you can create some more detail like the things right here. I think in my model, I create some kind of appended part, like just using simple extrusion. This one times E and 2 times to create this kind of little details right here. And because we don't have enough face, so if you want to create make this one more realistic, probably we have to do manually adjustment. Let's change this one. Or let's use that again. Make this one more sharp. But for this time, we need to do choosing the entire edge rather than choosing one segment. Okay, just like this, but not too much. Otherwise, you will become very weird. And press Ctrl R again to create one more segment. Just like this. And for this part, I want to do the same things. This is the elbow. So let's choose in the vertex right here. And it's supposed to be in the middle. So let's move them to the middle part. And for this area, I want to extrude the face right here. Because the elbow, usually it will be easily broken. So probably we can try to add on some detail right here. So let's press extrusion and the normals. Go to the back view and change the geometries. Press S and Z to scale them down. Okay. For the rest part, I will use in texture pan to finish the details. So I will leave the things like this. Move them here. Okay. And for the face, I'm choosing the face again. E and Y for extrusions. Okay, so now let's change the geometries. And you might wonder, so if I extrude right here, will they affect the movement of the elbows? Well, actually this part, well, it doesn't matter that much, because this one still, as far as I can see, is still continuously. So we can keep like that. And for this part, it doesn't move at all, so that's okay. Alright, so once you finish, we can apply the mirror modifier. Go to Tab key and choosing mirror apply. And we need to fix this part manually, so let's go to Edit Mode and press M as Enter. M key as Enter. M key as Enter. To combine, rejoin them together. Alright, so let's go to call out everything. So right here, it was a little bit weird because this part was going inside, so let's just do the little adjustments. Tab key and move them out. We can turn on the mirror modifier, so it will move both of them. Okay, so for the jacket part, it's pretty much finished. So for the rest of the part, it's about the detail. I will leave that part for you. So inside this tutorial, we have already finished the body parts, and for the rest, it's more about the details. And next part, we are going to finish the necktie and the pants, and probably, if we have enough time, we can finish the shoes as well. Okay, so that's the final part. And please try to follow the progress and finish your model. Alright, so that's all for today. See you next time.